The cold, unyielding floor of the spaceport terminal was far from the soft, warm sands of her home world, but Naraya hardly noticed. Her focus was entirely on the small figure huddled next to her, a bundle of thin, shivering limbs and faint, labored breaths. Her son Jalen, wrapped in what little remained of their planetary garb, coughed weakly, his body racked with spasms. Naraya's eyes darted anxiously around the bustling terminal, seeking something, anything, that might offer hope. They were strangers here, surrounded by countless species, each going about their business, indifferent to the plight of an alien mother and her dying child. "Please," she whispered, her voice barely carrying over the hum of conversation and the clatter of machinery. "Someone help us." But her plea went unanswered, swallowed by the indifference of the crowd. That was until she spotted him, a human, moving with purpose through the terminal, his features set in a determined frown, his eyes scanning the crowd as if searching for someone. Gathering her last reserves of strength, Naraya rose to her feet, clutching Jalen to her chest. She staggered through the throng, each step fueled by a mother's desperation, until she stood directly in the path of the human. "Please," she gasped, the word a mere breath as she reached out, her hand grasping his arm. "Please help my son." The human stopped, his eyes locking onto hers. For a moment, Naraya saw a flicker of hesitation, then something else, perhaps recognition, or was it compassion? "What's wrong with him?" the human asked, his voice tinged with concern as he knelt beside Jalen. Naraya's heart surged with a mix of hope and fear. "It's the fever," she explained quickly, the words tumbling out in her accented common. "It burns him from within. On our world there is a cure, but here I do not know. I do not have anything left to give, but if you can help him, I'll do literally anything." The human's eyes narrowed thoughtfully as he examined Jalen. He then reached into his bag, pulling out a small device, a medical scanner, Naraya realized, and passed it gently over Jalen's frail body. After a tense moment, the human nodded slowly. "I think I can help," he said, pulling out a communicator. "But we need to move fast." Relief, raw and overwhelming, washed over Naraya. She nodded fervently, ready to follow this stranger anywhere if it meant saving her son. As they hurried towards a medical facility within the terminal, Naraya felt the weight of her world shift slightly. Perhaps in this vast, indifferent galaxy, there was still room for small acts of kindness, human kindness, that could bridge worlds and heal the sick. Her heart, heavy with worry, now fluttered with a fragile hope as she whispered a silent prayer to the stars. This first step marked not just a journey to save her son but perhaps a new beginning, if they could only reach the help in time. Naraya followed the human, whose badge identified him as Dr. Eli Mercer, through a labyrinth of corridors within the medical complex. The sterile white walls and the sharp scent of antiseptic were a stark contrast to the vibrant, chaotic diversity of the terminal outside. Jalen's condition seemed to stabilize slightly in the arms of his mother, his breaths less ragged, his feverish murmurs quieter under the influence of temporary relief provided by Dr. Mercer's swift intervention. Dr. Mercer led them into a small, private room equipped with advanced medical technologies that hummed and blinked with a rhythm that seemed to pulse with promise. He gently laid Jalen on the examination table, his hands deft and sure, his brow furrowed in concentration. Naraya stood by, her hands clenched together, her eyes never leaving her son's pale face. "His symptoms suggest a rare viral strain, possibly mutated from something common on your world but deadly here due to lack of immunity," Dr. Mercer explained as he adjusted the settings on a complex-looking machine that hovered over Jalen. "I've seen similar cases. There's a treatment, but it's not standard, experimental and expensive." Naraya's heart sank. "I have nothing," she murmured, her voice a blend of despair and pleading. "No credits, nothing of value. Only my will to serve, to work, to do whatever it takes." Dr. Mercer paused, looking at her with a depth of empathy that transcended their species' boundaries. "Let's worry about that later. Right now, my priority is getting him stabilized and starting the treatment. We can work out the details once he's out of danger." As he administered the first dose of antiviral agents, Naraya watched. Each breath she took a silent vow to repay this man's kindness, whatever the cost. The treatment would take time, and Jalen was not yet out of the woods, but the first flickers of hope were igniting in Naraya's chest. Outside, the stars continued their ancient dance, indifferent to the struggles within the walls of the Spaceport's medical center. But within these walls, two beings, one human, one alien, worked together, a silent acknowledgement of shared humanity in a universe too vast for any one species to face alone. In the quiet moments as they waited for the treatment to take effect, Dr. Mercer shared stories of his travels, of the many beings he had helped. Each tale wove a tapestry of interstellar care and compassion that Naraya clung to like a lifeline. Here, in the midst of her darkest fears, she found a beacon of universal hope, that across the cosmos, kindness could transcend all barriers, reaching out in the darkness to save a life, to change a destiny. As Jalen's breathing eased and his color slowly returned, Naraya allowed herself a moment of gratitude, her gaze lifting to meet Dr. Mercer's. In his eyes, she saw not just a savior, but a fellow soul, navigating the boundless expanse of space, connected by the unspoken bond of life itself. The days that followed were a blend of tense waiting and slow recovery. Jalen's condition gradually improved, his once shallow breaths deepening, his fever abating. The medical bay became their temporary refuge, the beeping monitors a constant backdrop to their new reality. Naraya spent every moment at her son's side, her resolve never wavering, her gratitude towards Dr. Mercer deepening with each passing day. Dr. Mercer visited frequently, checking on Jalen's progress, adjusting his treatment as needed. With each visit, he brought a piece of the galaxy with him, stories of distant worlds and the eclectic mix of species that inhabited them. These tales captivated Naraya, each one a thread in the vast tapestry of cosmic existence. They spoke of planets where the rains were made of light, of civilizations that communicated through colors, and of species that could see the future. As Jalen grew stronger, his curiosity about their benefactor and his stories grew. Dr. Mercer, in turn, was fascinated by Naraya's descriptions of her home planet, with its vast deserts and towering crystal formations that glowed under the twin suns. It was during one of these exchanges that Dr. Mercer introduced the idea of documenting their stories. He proposed creating a shared archive of their cultures, a project that would not only help them pass the time but might also help others understand the richness of their respective worlds. Naraya was hesitant at first. The thought of diving deep into her memories was painful, it reminded her of all they had lost. But Jalen's enthusiasm, fueled by his gradual recovery and his innate curiosity, won her over. Together they began to compile their stories, Naraya recounting tales of her ancestors, their traditions, and the legends of their people, while Jalen drew pictures of the creatures and landscapes they described. Dr. Mercer provided them with a device that could record their narratives in holographic form, capturing not just their voices but their expressions, their emotions. He explained that this archive would be accessible to anyone interested in learning about other cultures, a digital library of interstellar anthropology. Their project caught the interest of other patients and staff in the medical center. Soon, their room was occasionally visited by other species, each eager to share their own stories or to hear about the desert world of Naraya and Jalen. What started as a simple pastime evolved into a rich exchange of knowledge and experiences, breaking down the barriers of alienation and forging a community of diverse beings, united by their shared desire to understand each other's worlds. Naraya noticed a change in herself too. The sharp edges of her desperation had softened, replaced by a sense of purpose and belonging. She was no longer just a stranded alien. She was a storyteller, a keeper of her culture, and a part of a vibrant community that stretched beyond the confines of her own world. As Jalen's health returned, so did his laughter, filling their room with lightness that seemed to push back against the sterile mechanical environment of the medical bay. Their story, like so many in the cosmos, was one of resilience, of finding connections in the most unlikely places, and of the transformative power of shared stories. As the archive grew, it attracted the attention of scholars and cultural anthropologists from various parts of the galaxy. Among them was Dr. Alara Kint, a renowned xenoculturalist from the University of Solarian. Dr. Kint was intrigued by Naraya's detailed recounting of her planet's history, a world not just surviving but thriving under extreme conditions, a rarity in the annals of known planets. Dr. Kint visited the medical center with the intent of merely observing, but she quickly became an active participant in the project. Her expertise in alien cultures brought a new depth to their discussions, providing insights into the interconnectedness of galactic societies. She facilitated connections between the project and academic resources that could help preserve the archive for millennia. Under Dr. Kint's guidance, Naraya and Jalen learned to use more sophisticated recording tools, integrating sensory simulations into their holographic entries. These enhancements allowed users to not only see and hear the stories but to experience them, feeling the scorching heat of Naraya's twin suns or the cool night breezes that whispered secrets in the sands. Meanwhile, Dr. Mercer continued his medical research, inspired by the unique biology of his alien patients. Jalen's recovery had sparked a series of breakthroughs in treating virulent diseases modified by interplanetary travel. Dr. Mercer published his findings, crediting Jalen's resilience and Neria's tireless care as the catalysts for his newfound understanding of cross-species medicine. The medical center itself became a hub of intercultural activity. What started as a simple medical treatment room transformed into a conference space where beings from different systems shared knowledge and technology. These gatherings were informal at first, but as word spread, they became organized symposiums, attracting experts in various fields who were eager to contribute to the burgeoning field of interspecies relations. Amidst this flurry of academic and medical activity, Neria and Jalen found themselves at the center of a cultural renaissance. Their personal saga had ignited a spark of curiosity that burned across academic and medical communities, highlighting the potential for cooperation and understanding across the stars. One evening, as Neria reviewed the holographic entries, she realized they had not only documented a history but had created one. Their experiences had woven them into the fabric of a larger story, one of unity and the pursuit of knowledge. Her thoughts were interrupted by a message from Dr. Kint, proposing a gala event to unveil the completed archive to the public. The event would also serve as a fundraiser to support displaced beings across the galaxy, turning their personal triumph into a beacon of hope for others. As preparations for the gala began, Neria reflected on the incredible journey of transformation they had undergone. From desperate refugees to respected contributors to a galaxy-wide initiative, their lives had changed in ways they could never have imagined. The gala would be a celebration of that change, a testament to the power of resilience and the enduring spirit of curiosity that define beings across the universe. Their story, once confined to the shadows of anonymity and despair, was now a vibrant part of the cosmic dialogue, echoing through the halls of learning and healing, reminding all who listen that even the smallest voices can resonate through the ages. The evening of the gala was a confluence of cultures and colors, an opulent celebration that sprawled across the gardens of the medical center, now transformed with lights that mimicked the starlit skies of a dozen worlds. Figures from various sectors of the galaxy mingled, their conversations a melodic blend of languages and laughter, underscored by the soft symphonies of distant planets played by an interstellar orchestra. Neria, clad in a traditional robe that shimmered with the dust of her home planet, stood beside Jalen, who had grown visibly stronger, his eyes bright with excitement. They were greeted with warmth and curiosity, the guests eager to learn more about the archive and the stories it held. Screens around the venue displayed glimpses of their holographic tales, inviting attendees to experience the narrative sensory simulations. Dr. Kint and Dr. Mercer were prominent figures at the event, facilitating introductions and discussions about the significance of the archive. They shared insights into how this project could serve as a model for future cultural preservation efforts, stressing the importance of understanding and valuing the heritage of all species in the galactic community. As the evening progressed, a notable philanthropist announced a significant donation to the archive project, praising its potential to foster peace and cooperation across the cosmos. This gesture sparked a wave of generosity, with others stepping forward to contribute, drawn not only to the cause but to the compelling story of resilience and unity that Neria and Jalen had come to symbolize. Later, under the canopy of faux stars, Neria took to the stage to speak. Her voice, once hesitant and laden with worry, now carried a confident and inspiring tone. She spoke of her world, of the challenges they faced and overcame, and of the universal truths that connected everyone present. Her speech was not just a recounting of past struggles but a call to action, a reminder that every being, no matter their origin, shared a common destiny under the vast, star-filled heavens. The highlight of the evening came when a surprise guest was introduced, a historian from an advanced civilization, whose expertise was in the long-lost cultures of the galaxy. He presented a special grant to Neria and Jalen, offering them the opportunity to travel and study with renowned scholars across the galaxy. This initiative was meant to further their work and ensure that the knowledge they had helped gather would continue to expand and benefit others. As the gala drew to a close, the attendees wandered among the exhibits, deeply moved by the vivid portrayals of distant lands and times. Conversation sparked around the potential for other similar projects, with several groups discussing collaborations that spanned sectors and species. Neria and Jalen, standing side by side, looked out at the sea of faces, each different, each unique, yet all connected by the threads of shared stories and hopes. They realized that their own narrative had woven them deeply into the fabric of this diverse community. They were no longer outsiders but pivotal figures in a continuing saga of discovery and connection. As the guests departed, the lights dimming and the music fading into the quiet of the night, the echoes of the event continued to resonate. The impact of the archive was just beginning to unfold, promising to ripple through time and space, a testament to the power of shared knowledge and mutual respect in shaping the future of the galaxy. In the wake of the gala, the Archive Project, now dubbed the Heritage of Light, became a cornerstone of intergalactic cultural exchange. Naria and Jalen embarked on their scholarly journey, visiting various academic institutions and cultural sites across the galaxy. Their travels were a series of immersive experiences, each visit deepening their understanding of the intricate mosaic of galactic civilizations. During a stop at the Great Library of Varnex, a repository of knowledge spanning millennia and home to scholars of all species, Naria and Jalen delved into ancient texts and holographic records. They participated in symposiums discussing the methodologies of cultural preservation, contributing their unique perspective on ensuring that the voices of smaller, less technologically advanced worlds were not lost in the shadow of more dominant cultures. Their efforts were documented and broadcasted across the network, inspiring other marginalized communities to start their own archives. This ripple effect led to the establishment of a series of linked archives, known as the Network of Cultural Continuity, NCC, which aimed to protect the heritage of endangered worlds and foster a deeper understanding among the galaxy's myriad inhabitants. Back on Earth, Dr. Mercer continued his medical research, now influenced by the biological data gathered from the diverse species Naria and Jalen encountered. His new research focused on developing treatments that were adaptable to various genetic structures, thereby reducing the occurrence of adverse reactions in non-human species and improving the efficacy of interstellar medical practices. Meanwhile, Dr. Kint secured funding to expand the Heritage of Light. The project now included a mobile exhibition that traveled to distant colonies and outposts, bringing the archive's resources to those who could not travel to major cultural centers. This initiative was particularly well received on frontier worlds, where inhabitants often felt disconnected from the galactic core's cultural and academic life. At each stop, Naria led workshops and storytelling sessions, weaving the narratives they had collected into the larger tapestry of galactic history. Jalen, now a young adult, took on the role of a cultural liaison, bridging the gap between the archive team and local populations. His natural charisma and genuine interest in other cultures made him a beloved figure wherever they went. An unexpected development occurred during their visit to the aquatic world of Hydros. Here, they encountered the Cephalian scholars, a species known for their deep-rooted historical isolationism. Intrigued by the Heritage of Light, the Cephalians proposed a collaboration to explore the ancient submerged cities of their planet, which contained untold histories predating their contact with other galactic civilizations. This partnership proved to be one of the most significant expansions of the archive, adding a wealth of knowledge about Cephalian culture and history that had previously been inaccessible to outsiders. The collaboration also served as a model for other reclusive or isolated species, showing the benefits of sharing their legacies with the wider galaxy. Through these initiatives, Naria and Jalen not only preserved the memories of countless cultures but also built new ones. Their work underscored the importance of cultural heritage as a foundation for understanding and cooperation among diverse galactic populations. As they continued to weave this ever-expanding network of narratives and knowledge, Naria and Jalen transformed from guardians of their own history to custodians of a galactic legacy, ensuring that the light of culture and understanding would shine on, unextinguished, across the stars. As the Heritage of Light expanded, its influence resonated like a cosmic symphony, each note a story, each melody a different culture. Naria and Jalen's travels brought them to the Spherian Consortium, a collective of worlds known for their advanced technologies and a deep-rooted dedication to preserving the history of technology across the cosmos. Here, they engaged with historians and technologists to explore how technological evolution influenced societal development. The consortium proposed an ambitious project to integrate technological artifacts into the archive. This initiative, named the Technocultural Synthesis, aimed to showcase not just the cultural stories but also the tools and inventions that shaped those cultures. This holistic approach provided a more comprehensive understanding of how civilizations evolved with their technologies, and how these innovations affected their societal structures, beliefs, and interstellar relations. In tandem with this technological exploration, Jalen began to focus on the oral histories of the more technologically advanced species. His interviews revealed not only the impact of technology on daily life, but also the ethical dilemmas and cultural shifts triggered by rapid technological advances. These stories added a new layer of depth to the archive, bridging the past with the present and paving the way for discussions about the future. Meanwhile, Naria collaborated with artists and holographers to create immersive experiences that allowed visitors to not only hear and see but also feel and interact with the histories being presented. These interactive installations became popular attractions at cultural exhibitions, enabling participants to experience a day in the life of someone from a completely different world or time period. One such installation was the Day on Daxter, where visitors could walk through a recreated environment of Daxter's capital city, complete with sensory effects like the planet's heavier gravity, the smell of the local cuisine, and the sounds of its bustling marketplaces. This installation not only educated visitors about Daxarian culture, but also sparked empathy and a deeper connection to the Daxarian people. As the scope of the Heritage of Light widened, it caught the attention of the Galactic Council, a governing body interested in using the archive as a diplomatic tool to resolve conflicts and foster peace among the member planets. The Council provided additional funding and support, allowing Naraya and Jalen to establish outreach programs on worlds where cultural misunderstandings had historically led to conflicts. One such program was initiated on the border worlds of the Orion Rift, where long-standing territorial disputes had created deep-seated mistrust between neighboring species. The team organized a series of joint cultural festivals, featuring music, art, and food from both worlds, facilitated by interactive archives that highlighted their shared histories and common values. These festivals significantly reduced tensions, paving the way for formal peace talks. Amid these expanding horizons, Naraya found herself more reflective. She began to document not only the stories of other cultures, but her personal reflections on the journey. These memoirs became a popular addition to the archive, offering insights into the emotional and intellectual growth she experienced through her interactions with the galaxy's diverse inhabitants. Jalen, inspired by his mother's writings, started his own series of discussions and lectures, focusing on the role of young generations in cultural preservation and interstellar diplomacy. His charismatic presentations drew in young audiences across the galaxy, inspiring them to engage in their cultural legacies and to participate actively in the galactic community. Together, Naraya and Jalen continued to build bridges across the stars, their archive a testament to the power of shared knowledge and the unifying potential of understanding one's history and that of others. Through their efforts, the Heritage of Light became more than an archive. It was a living, breathing dialogue among the stars, weaving the diverse threads of the galaxy into a single vibrant tapestry of interstellar unity. The Heritage of Light's journey next led Naraya and Jalen to the Nebular Territories, a region veiled in cosmic clouds and renowned for its isolationist communities who thrived in the nebula's luminous folds. These communities, though advanced in their own unique ways, had remained largely disconnected from the galactic discourse, their stories untold and their voices unheard in the broader cosmos. Upon arrival, Naraya and Jalen were met with cautious curiosity. The nebula dwellers, with their iridescent eyes and translucent skin, communicated in soft tones, their language a complex mixture of sonorous waves and bioluminescent signals. Adapting to these communication methods required patience and technological assistance, but the archives team was well prepared, equipped with translation devices that could interpret these subtle cues. As trust was built, the inhabitants began to share their histories, revealing a civilization that had developed in harmony with the volatile beauty of the nebulae. They spoke of their ancestors who navigated the dense clouds with technology that harmonized with the nebula's natural energy patterns, of cities built on floating platforms that drifted through the clouds, and of their philosophers who pondered the mysteries of the cosmos from within their misty enclaves. Naraya was particularly struck by their art and music, which, unlike anything else in the galaxy, captured the ephemeral nature of their environment. She arranged for holographic recordings of these performances, ensuring that the ethereal quality of their expression was preserved and transmitted through the archive. These recordings became some of the most viewed items in a Heritage of Light, captivating audiences with their haunting beauty and otherworldly grace. Jalen, on the other hand, was drawn to their technologies, particularly those related to energy harnessing and environmental adaptation. He documented the intricate details of their engineering, which utilized the nebula's natural energies to power their cities and sustain their communities. This information proved invaluable to other civilizations in similar environments, providing them with sustainable alternatives to more invasive technologies. With each story collected, each song recorded, and each piece of technology documented, the Heritage of Light wove the nebular territories into the galactic narrative. The nebula dwellers, once shrouded in mystery and isolation, found a new place in the cosmos as contributors to a shared future. As part of their outreach, Naraya and Jalen facilitated a series of exchanges between the nebula communities and other cultures. These included academic residencies, art exhibitions, and technology workshops, where ideas and experiences were shared openly, fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation among the disparate groups. The impact of these exchanges was profound. Preconceptions were dismantled, and new alliances were formed, rooted in mutual respect and shared knowledge. The nebula dwellers, who had long guarded their privacy, found a new sense of identity and purpose in the interstellar community, their unique contributions recognized and valued. Reflecting on these developments, Naraya organized a conference aboard their vessel, inviting leaders from various cultural and scientific disciplines to discuss the future of interstellar cooperation. The conference, named Confluence of Stars, was a vibrant forum for debate and decision-making, where strategies were formed to ensure that the flow of cultural and technological exchange remained open and beneficial to all. The discussions led to the formation of the Galactic Heritage Foundation, a body dedicated to promoting and protecting the diverse cultures of the galaxy. Naraya was elected as its first chairperson, a role she accepted with a sense of duty and vision. Under her leadership, the foundation launched several initiatives to support vulnerable communities and preserve endangered legacies, ensuring that the heritage of each world was safeguarded for future generations. Through these initiatives, the Heritage of Light evolved from a simple archive to a pivotal institution in the galactic framework, its threads of legacy reaching far into the fabric of space and time, binding the galaxy together with stories of its past, present, and hopeful future. In the years that followed, the Galactic Heritage Foundation became a beacon for interstellar unity and preservation. Under Naraya's guidance, the Foundation not only catalogued historical data but also actively intervened to preserve cultures facing existential threats. One such mission led them to the crumbling world of Astra, where seismic instability threatened ancient ruins and the remnants of a once thriving civilization. Upon arrival, the team discovered that Astra's instability was not only geological but also societal. The planet's diverse populations were divided, their cooperation undermined by centuries of mistrust and conflict, exacerbated by the planet's deteriorating conditions. Naraya, ever the diplomat, saw an opportunity not just to save a dying world but to heal its fragmented society. She initiated a series of dialogues among the leaders of the various factions, using the archive stories as examples of how diverse cultures could find common ground and mutual benefit. These discussions were tense, fraught with historical grievances and deep-seated fears, but Naraya's empathetic approach gradually broke down barriers, paving the way for a collaborative effort to stabilize the planet. Parallel to these peace efforts, Jalen led a technical team to install seismic stabilizers and energy shields, technologies borrowed from their experiences in the nebular territories. This direct intervention not only helped to mitigate the environmental threats but also demonstrated the tangible benefits of interstellar cooperation, reinforcing the diplomatic efforts spearheaded by his mother. The successful stabilization of Astra became a celebrated example of what the Foundation could achieve. It was a story that resonated deeply across the galaxy, illustrating the power of combining cultural preservation with practical technological solutions. This success spurred similar projects on other worlds, where environmental and cultural crises intersected. As the Foundation's influence grew, so did its resources and capabilities. Naraya made it a point to ensure that these resources were used responsibly. She established a panel of cultural experts, scientists, and ethicists to oversee the Foundation's projects, ensuring that their interventions respected the sovereignty and cultural integrity of each community they assisted. One of the Foundation's most ambitious projects was the Living Library, an expansive virtual reality space where individuals could experience the histories and cultures of different worlds as if they were there. This project was spearheaded by Jalen, who had become an adept cultural curator, his earlier experiences shaping his approach to immersive storytelling. The Living Library quickly became a popular educational tool, used by schools and universities across the galaxy to foster a greater understanding among the youth of the interconnectedness of galactic cultures. It was also a place of research, where scholars could conduct studies in virtual recreations of ancient civilizations, uncovering insights that were previously impossible due to time or space constraints. In her later years, Naraya began to step back from her day-to-day duties, entrusting more responsibility to Jalen and the team she had nurtured. She spent her time writing a series of essays and reflections on her experiences, which were published as a book titled Echoes of Unity. The book was a critical and commercial success, providing a philosophical and ethical framework for cultural preservation and cooperation that would guide future generations. As Naraya's legacy was celebrated across the galaxy, her thoughts often returned to the simple beginnings of their journey, the archive that started as a desperate attempt to save her son and grew into a galactic institution. Her reflections were not just on what they had achieved, but on the continuing challenge of fostering understanding and cooperation in a universe as diverse as it was vast. Her writings, filled with wisdom and insight, became required reading for all who worked at the Foundation, a reminder of the humble origins of their grand endeavor and the enduring need for empathy and unity in the cosmos. As Neria's twilight years approached, the landscape of the galaxy continued to evolve, but the foundation she had built remained a steadfast beacon of hope and collaboration. Her vision had sown seeds of unity across countless worlds, each growing and branching in its unique way, yet all intertwined at the root by their shared heritage and mutual respect. Jalen, now at the helm of the Galactic Heritage Foundation, carried forward his mother's legacy with a deep commitment and an innovative spirit. He launched the Intergalactic Cultural Exchange Program, an initiative that facilitated not just the sharing of knowledge and technology, but also the exchange of citizens between worlds for cultural immersion. This program became a cornerstone of galactic diplomacy, fostering a generation of ambassadors who possessed a profound understanding and appreciation of their neighbors in the stars. Under Jalen's leadership, the Foundation also tackled one of the galaxy's most pressing issues, the preservation of worlds endangered by cosmic phenomena. Drawing on the collaborative networks his mother had established, Jalen coordinated multi-species efforts to protect these vulnerable planets, blending advanced technology with traditional knowledge to create solutions that were both effective and respectful of the planet's cultural legacies. The culmination of these efforts was celebrated at the Centennial Convergence, a galactic summit held on the anniversary of the Foundation's creation. Representatives from hundreds of worlds gathered, sharing their achievements and challenges, their cultures and dreams. The event was a vibrant tapestry of life, with performances, debates, and exhibitions that showcased the diversity and creativity of the galaxy. At the summit, Neria, although advanced in years, delivered a moving speech that was broadcasted across the cosmos. She spoke not only of the past achievements, but also of the future challenges that awaited them as they continued to navigate the complexities of a shared galaxy. Her words, imbued with a lifetime of experience and wisdom, resonated deeply, inspiring a new commitment to the Foundation's ideals. Following her speech, the summit unveiled the Neria Initiative, a fund dedicated to supporting emergent cultures and technologies that could contribute to galactic harmony. This initiative was a testament to Neria's enduring impact, ensuring that her vision would continue to inspire and shape the galaxy long into the future. As the summit closed, the attendees looked up at the night sky, where a new comet had been named in Neria's honor. The comet, a brilliant streak of light across the darkness, was a fitting symbol of her journey, a journey that had started with desperation and evolved into a trailblazing path of hope and connection. Years later, as Neria passed peacefully, surrounded by her family and loved ones, her legacy was more vibrant than ever. The Foundation continued to thrive, guided by her writings and the principles she had instilled. Across the galaxy, from bustling spaceports to quiet remote worlds, her influence was evident in the ongoing dialogues, the vibrant exchanges, and the deep respectful understanding that linked diverse beings. Jalen, watching over the continuation of their work, felt a profound gratitude for the legacy his mother had left, a legacy not just of monuments and archives, but of changed minds and united hearts. He looked forward with hope, ready to face the challenges of the future, guided by the echoes of unity that his mother had so powerfully set into motion. The galaxy, once a place of disparate stars and silent distances, was now a community, its myriad voices harmonizing in a symphony of shared destiny, each note a testament to the power of understanding, each melody a promise of peace.